I'm Deborah Borchardt, and this is your midday market update. All the indices are firmly into the green territory, seeing some buying going on here, although again, volume is not tearing it up. Joining me now is Jason Weisberg from Seaport Security. So Jason, we obviously started the week out in a selling mode because of the Ukraine crisis. We seem to have shrugged that off, and we continue to push to even higher record levels. So, do people now feel that, that it was a one-day crisis?
Well, I think it's an ongoing crisis, but I think the investment community thinks that the most dangerous part of the crisis is behind them, at least for now, and the market is just carrying on with where it was before the crisis started.
Well, yeah, I know when we talked at the beginning of the year, you felt that we were going to have a pretty strong year. Apparently, you were right, because we're not really seeing, any kind of full conviction of selling every time we do have a sell-off day.
That is true. And every time we see one of these sell-offs, it's usually followed by a pretty healthy bounce. Net, we come out neutral. Like, for example, Monday we were down big. Tuesday we were up what we lost on Monday. As long as the trend remains in place and that is upward, then we should be okay. I imagine we'll have pullbacks, which are healthy at one point or another throughout the year. As long as we start, as long as we end the year higher than where we started, then it'll be good for everyone.
Any concern on the financial sector, because they have really kind of started to lead the way. They've been performing very well, and yet, again, with these volumes down, that's certainly going to hurt these companies. And then they're leading in job cuts as well. So when they report their earnings, is that going to hurt the people that have started going into this sector?
I think that the job cuts and the profitability of these financials are they're intertwined. But the fact is that these companies are a lot more nimble today than they were 5 years ago, 3 years ago. And if they can get equal profits with less people, you're going to see that. You see that across all industries, not just the financial industry. And I think the shareholders of the financials will eventually benefit from that.
All right, so we also see usually a little bit of correlation between that and the market. When we see the financials doing well, that tends to be a good thing for the market in general. Would you agree with that correlation?
Historically, yes, I totally would. The financials weren't 100% great last year. The market had a great year last year. But as long as we see sector rotation, whether it's financials, healthcare, consumer cyclicals, as long as we see investors rotating their money from one sector to another and they continue to keep the money in the market, that's what you need for a sustainable market, and we're seeing that.
All right, there you go. Jason Weisberg had some good positive comments to say about the stock market. Jason Weisberg from Seaport Securities, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.